Federated Group was an American chain of consumer electronics retail stores that opened in 1970 and closed in 1989. Thank you for your suggestion.
Now at Federated, Sony headphones at Federated, many to choose from at Federated, as low as $947 at Federated. A Merry Christmas from Federated.
Federated Group was started by Wilfred Schwartz in 1970 when he bought a 25,000 square foot warehouse in Los Angeles. The inventory was from an electronics appliance company, and Schwartz turned part of the warehouse into a retail store. Federated would add 3 more stores through acquisitions, and in 1976 they closed 2 stores, and a 20,000 square foot superstore was built in Westminster, California. Schwartz leveraged Congress's 1976, good year, removal of fair trade pricing laws to create a discount cornucopia of consumer tech, which eventually topped 9,000 products from more than 600 manufacturers. His grab-and-go assortment also included higher margin, limited distribution, and exclusive fare, and by the early 1980s, Schwartz took Federated Group public. Schwartz referred to his stores as a year-round consumer electronics show, and in 1982 promoted them with boisterous TV spots featuring radio and television personality Shadoe Stevens. The City of Commerce-based retailer quickly expanded in the early and mid-1980s. By 1984, it had 20 stores, and more than 3 times that number by 1987. During the early 1980s, Stevens gained an additional cult following when he created and produced Fred R. Rated for Federated, a long-running series of offbeat television commercials for the Federated Group. These ads were so popular that they were subject of a 2-page spread in Time magazine and led to a movie deal, television shows, and even American Top 40. If you lived in Southern California, the Southwest, Texas, or Kansas, you may have seen these iconic commercials on your TV. In fact, Stevens would eventually appear in more than 1,000 commercials. In 1986, Stevens told the viewers that rabid frogs had eaten the company's warehouse and they were passing on the savings to the customers. Sales went up by 30% after that spot, and Federated Group nominated itself for Adweek magazine's annual Bad Advertising issue. The company expanded quickly and launched a major expansion into Texas in December of 1984. The timing of the expansion into Texas hurt Federated Group since the state was experiencing an economic slowdown from the oil bust. In Federated Group's home territory of Los Angeles, the competition was increasing due to the entrance of Circuit City into the market in 1985. This ill-timed move into the depressed market of Texas, along with the expansion into Arizona and Kansas, put a financial strain on the company just as it was facing aggressive competition from other consumer electronic chains. Federated began losing money in 1987, so Schwartz decided to cash out, selling the 65-store chain to personal computer video game company Atari for $67.3 million. In 1988, Atari had filed a lawsuit charging it was defrauded when it purchased Federated Group, Inc. In the suit, Atari claimed it was defrauded of $43 million when it bought Federated in August of 1987 and completed the acquisition in October for $64.1 million in cash. Atari charged that Wilfred Schwartz, Federated's former chairman and principal stockholder, conspired with other Federated officers to misrepresent the value of the company's assets. Federated, which had operated 68 stores in California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Kansas, was losing money at the time it was acquired. Atari had expected to engineer a quick turnaround of the company. Federated had continued to lose money, and Atari closed 6 unprofitable stores of its new subsidiary. Federated lost $9.6 million on sales of $71.5 million during the quarter. Atari hired an outside accounting firm to perform the audit and reported Federated's assets had been overstated by $43 million. Following the audit, Atari reduced the value of the Federated assets by $43 million in its financial report for the first quarter. Atari quickly soured on Federated, cutting its workforce from 3,800 to 1,800 in an effort to turn around an operation that had lost $124 million in 1988. After losing some share of the Southern California market to Circuit City in 1987, Federated Group began to tone down much of its Fred-rated advertising and began looking for a new image. Shadow Stevens was let go after performing in over 1,100 commercials in 5 years. In 1989, Atari announced it would sell the chain, which by then had fewer than 40 stores. That November, Philadelphia-based Silo, Inc., a national electronics retailer, announced plans to buy 26 locations. The remaining stores were to be liquidated. Analysts had faulted Atari for failing to improve Federated's marketing or to expand its product selection beyond electronic goods such as TVs, VCRs, CD players, and home and car stereo equipment. A competing store chain remarked that Federated expanded the number of stores too fast without expanding their product selection. The sheer variety of products at Circuit City and smaller competitors such as Adrace appeared to have been a big reason they had thrived at a time when Federated struggled. Federated, for example, had never carried appliances such as dishwashers and refrigerators, and the chain's marketing efforts left a lot to be desired. Another analyst remarked, Circuit City did a much better job of advertising and marketing, offering appliances as well as CD players. Federated never got their act together. Federated Group's 21 stores in Los Angeles and Orange counties and 5 stores in San Diego were reopened under the Silo name in 1990. If you would like to know more about some of the other stores who competed with Federated, check out my other videos. So what are some of your favorite memories of this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. Be sure to hit that like button. Thanks for watching.